We have two new updates from the National Health Commission of the People's Republic of China, one for yesterday, Monday, June 13th, and today, Tuesday, June 14th. So let's start with yesterday's update. Yesterday, the Chinese National Health Commission reporting 29 domestic cases in Beijing municipality, 27 in Inner Mongolia, 11 in Shanghai, and 2 in Chongqing. And that including 2 confirmed cases converting from asymptomatic ones, one in Beijing and one in Shanghai. Today, we receive similar news, 42 in Beijing municipality, 15 in Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, 3 in Shanghai municipality, and this all includes 2 confirmed cases converting from asymptomatic ones in Inner Mongolia. If we just quickly look at Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region's outbreak, it does appear as though it has stabilized. The number of cases that have been reported has decreased by 12 since yesterday. But the most concerning thing here is Beijing, reporting 29 yesterday, now 42. That's an increase of 13. And you're seeing a significant response from the Beijing city government and the national government. This is, after all, the Chinese capital. Its anti-epidemic strategies are crucial to the national anti-COVID effort. Yesterday, Monday, June 13th, you see Beijing city government officials saying that all offline sport events, basically just any in-person sport event, is suspended from Monday, June 13th. That is because yesterday, the number of cases linked to the Chaoyang Heaven supermarket bar cluster, which is what spawned this outbreak in the city of Beijing, had risen to 166. If you remember last week, we were talking about how the number of cases related to this outbreak had spread to approximately 14 of the 16 city districts in Beijing, all but 2 city districts. And you can see the urgency, that sense of urgency, continuing to be reflected today on Tuesday, June 14th. Beijing city government officials saying that they're in a race against time to contain this virus. A very stark message from the city government, essentially saying that if the city government acts quick enough, they can stop the virus from spreading and further community spread. If they are not fast enough, it risks upending Beijing's anti-COVID, anti-epidemic strategy and causing further economic restrictions for the people in the capital. And you can see here that this is being called the most serious outbreak in Beijing since the pandemic began, more significant than the June 2020 outbreak. And there's a lot of stark messaging here. We remember just a few days ago, the city government saying that the outbreak was ferocious. Here's an update on the number of cases so far linked to the outbreak, 287 cases. A very fast spreading outbreak, and it's so far still remains to be seen whether or not Beijing city government will be able to curtail the spread of the virus in the capital. You can see here another update from Reuters. The city government going out of its way testing millions of people in an effort to stamp out the virus, shutting down entertainment venues in the Chaoyang district, which is where the Heaven supermarket bar is, which spawned this outbreak. And so far, that is the update from Beijing. That's the most serious outbreak so far in China, the most serious outbreak that Beijing has experienced throughout the entire pandemic. And the city government really just racing to test and contact trace as much as it can to stop this outbreak in its tracks and avoid any more restrictions than they need. In other news, we have received a notice of a mayor in northeastern China apologizing over his response to the pandemic. We noted in the past week or so that there were some new domestic cases of the virus in Dandong province, which is in northeastern China and borders North Korea. The mayor essentially apologizing for the fact that one of these northern Chinese cities, Dandong, was under lockdown for more than 50 days. And simply put, just suggesting the fact that the city government was not able to stop the virus from spreading more quickly meant that they had to be more heavy-handed, as you can see, than they really needed to. And this just genuinely being an unusual acknowledgement, an unusual apology from a ranking Communist Party official. Nonetheless, that being the update from Dandong in Liaoning province. And just lastly, let's quickly look at Shanghai. Shanghai not reporting many new domestic cases. In terms of its economy, Good news, most factories in the city are resuming work as these controls ease. And if we look at the number of new cases today in Shanghai, at least the most recent update from the Shanghai Health Commission, there are 3 confirmed cases of the virus, 3 new confirmed cases. They were all in central quarantine, which is good in the sense that they were not in the community. As for local asymptomatic infections, 13 of them testing positive during central quarantine. Another one was detected in the screening of high-risk groups. That additional one somewhat concerning, though it is only one asymptomatic infection. So that is the update from Shanghai. That is the data that they received yesterday, June 13th, and reported today, Tuesday, June 14th. I'm also receiving an update that the Shanghai city government has allowed for Disneytown and Shanghai Disneyland Hotel to open and resume their operations from Thursday, June 16th. So yet again, a sign that Shanghai and its handling of the pandemic is going quite well after having endured a significant number of cases in April. This is the district-by-district breakdown of the new confirmed and asymptomatic cases, again noting the fact that most of these are in isolation or in quarantine, so not in the community, and so far not actively posing a threat to the city's anti-epidemic measures. And you can see here most of them limited to the Pudong new area and Zhuhui here in the downtown area. So that is the most recent update from Shanghai. And that is the most recent update from China. Again, the most significant update being Beijing and its attempts to squash out this Chaoyang Heaven supermarket bar outbreak, perhaps one of the most serious threats to China's anti-epidemic measures at the moment, and the most significant challenge that Beijing has had to face in its COVID prevention over the past 2 years. Remains to be seen how the Beijing city government, how successful it will be in curtailing this outbreak, but it is something to continue to watch in the coming days. And that is the update from China on today, Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. Thank you.